What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for tuning back in with the Black P.O.E. Let's get straight to it. All these videos that I've been doing here lately, covering a lot of this violence that's taking place in our community, it's really been having me thinking. I look at my generation and see, is there anything that we did to cause this carnage, to contribute to this carnage that's taking place in our streets right now? I mean, a real assessment. And when I look back at it, I'm looking at a generation between the ages of 40 and 50. We're the generation that introduced the gunplay to the streets. Before then, they was carrying guns, but it wasn't semi-automatic weapons. It wasn't assault rifles. Until now, there's no more fighting. There's no more even talking things out. It's this senseless violence. And before I just looked at my generation and see what did we do to contribute to what's taking place now, I had to ask another question. Who put those guns in our hands? It seems like in the 90s, there was gunmen coming to the neighborhoods. You never seen that before. With any type of artillery you can think of, for good prices on semi-automatic weapons and assault rifles. And now you look now they got switches on these weapons. They got 30, 50, 100 round magazines. And then I also look at the music. You want to say, well, you know, it's your generation who really grew up off hip hop. Y'all did it. No, my generation brought you KRS-One, Public Enemy, Paris, X-Clan, Poor Righteous Teachers, Tribe Called Quest, Jungle Brothers, Organized Noise, Goody Mob. So there was always consciousness in our community. But now, look what the record companies are pushing. And you're not going to give me that shit talking about, well, we don't push conscious rap into that because it's not going to sell. Public Enemy used to go gold or platinum every time they drop. And you looked in their crowds, it was majority white folks. Because we know that that's who buys the majority of this music is white people. But the problem is when these record companies just see profit, because they know the profit's going to come from this demographics, but the effects of their music is going to be felt somewhere else. And where it's being felt at is in our communities. This is something that's really serious to me and on my heart, you know. So I feel like our generation was led astray and had instruments put in our hands and put our society that contributed to us being the ones bringing that gunplay. Now it's time for people between the ages of 40 and 50 to grow up. It's too many of us trying to be cool and shit. You know what I'm saying? Scared of being called lame or corny or whatever because we sit here trying to give back to the youth. Trying to be cool. Try to stay young forever. Not taking responsibility. That's another issue we having. It's time for us to grow the fuck up. I'm talking about my age group. Stop trying to be cool. Be responsible. If the shit's wrong, call it out. And lead by example. That's why they're not listening. They looking at us like, that's not a fucking example. He's embarrassing. Or she's embarrassing. They still out on the streets. I'm supposed to listen to them? But with all that said, until the real power, these machines is generating all this violence because of the product they putting out, the product they're marketing, these record companies, executives, and other entities, I don't see it stopping. And like I said before, we all we got. So we need more people leading by example so the youth can have that North Star, that guidance, that strength to look up to stop the shit that's going on right now. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless. One team.